What's up, YouTube? How you guys doing today? In this video, I wanted to talk about not letting others get you off your path or prevent your success. So, when I was younger, there was many times where this happened. Even sort of recently, some instances that come to mind when I think of this topic. And I wanted to give you some examples of times in my life where I had to stay focused on the future. Even when I didn't know I'd be where I'm at right now, I knew that God had something for me, right? So, and I think where I'm at today is just amazing, and it's wonderful what God can do. So I'll start with this one. So when I was younger, maybe 16 or so, back in the days I was hustling and whatnot, me and the guys. I met a guy who I knew, and things basically went wrong. The average story of your of that world, right? I ended up getting robbed at gunpoint, right? Just in the car. But he took my shit and he ran off. And this was the first time in my life where I was, I was confronted with the fact of how cold the world is, right? Even though the irony of the whole situation is that's how it's supposed to go, right? When I put myself in that situation, those were the people I was around. Of course that's going to happen. I mean, and you guys like watching the video are like, well, yeah, no shit, right? Well, that's not what my immature mind was thinking. I mean, I was ready to crash out. No lie. I was ready to crash out, take this dude out, throw it all away. Okay? But I didn't. And I got to thank my dad for this mindset of, like, is this a hill you want to die on? Because he would always tell me that. And it would always bring me back to, like, maybe he's right, you know. And this is for if you are still in that world, in the, you know, if you're still in the trap or whatnot. Think about that when you get robbed. I won't say every time. Because the robbing's going to happen, trust. Just hope it doesn't get too severe. I've seen some really dark shit happen in that world. But you got to think when you get robbed, when you get ran off on, when your shit gets stolen, whatever. Is this a hill you're willing to die on? Because the whole goal when you got in this thing was money, right? So, by you crashing out on dude, even hiring somebody, because I know when I talk about this to some of my friends back home, they're like, whoa, you can just hire somebody or whatever. That gets a little deep. But even then, fuck no, dude. Like, fuck no. If you think it's that easy just to, man, you're going to fuck up the money. Like, you're really going to fuck up the money. So don't fuck up the money. This was the whole point of getting in this thing, right? Getting in it and getting out. You're probably going to fuck up the money on your own, but don't crash out on somebody and fuck up the money because you couldn't control your emotions. It's how the game goes. When you get into that shit, you should know that. And I learned the hard way, but you should know that, right? You should have some money stacked back to recover. You know what I'm saying? And let them go on. There's always going to be jack boys. There's always going to be people like that. And to be honest, that guy's no longer here. And that's not all my doing. That's just the universe taking care of things. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just how the game goes. Those type of people are always going to get taken care of. Like, you don't have to do it yourself. Focus on the money. Focus on just being fruitful in life. okay? And just a message to you if you are in that world still, man, be safe. I'm still seeing shit happen like back home in my hometown where I'm like, damn, it makes me so happy I'm out of that type of lifestyle. The money was great. I blew it all. You know, it was great at the time. I have nothing to show for it. But the consequences of that shit can get real deep. And something I always thought about when I was in that world was people love Scarface, people love Blow, people love Goodfellas, people love all these gangster movies, right? But they never pay attention to the ending. Think about that. They never pay attention to the ending. All these edits are made, whatnot, blah, 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 blah. They never pay attention to the ending. And this was my thoughts even when I was in it. So at a certain point, I was too deep in it to kind of just give up just because I realized that fact. It's too much shit going on. But you gotta pay attention to those endings of those movies because that's how you will end up. No bullshit. Trapping is not the way in 2026. Like, let me just get that out there. It's not the way. Okay, even if everything goes right, somehow nothing happens to you, and God is on your side, your whole perception of money is going to be fucked up, bro. It's going to be absolutely fucked up. And I understand how appealing it can be, fast money in this type of economy we're in and whatnot. But trust me, brother, there's other ways to do it. There's other ways to do it that don't put you or your family in jeopardy. And even if everything goes right, a lot of times, unless you're super smart about it and you can start a business or something from that, and you're in college, doing something that's not just trapping, your perception of money is going to be fucked up because of how easy the money was. And well, let me take that back, because really, contrary to popular belief, I would say trapping is not the easiest money. It's fast money, but you're still working for it, for sure. You're still working for it. You're putting yourself in very risky situations. I'll say one benefit of that is that your risk tolerance is stupid. You know, you're sitting in the worst apartments in your city in the parking lot at 2 a.m. with a gun, meeting a random guy, right? You know, a business deal in real, like in civilian world, once you get out of that, is not going to be shit. Okay? So that's the good part about it. Your risk tolerance is pretty valid. But your perception of money is all going to be fucked up. You're not going to want to work for $1. That's why they call it the trap. You're trapped in that cycle. You're not going to want to work for $1 and take the time that needs to be put in to build a real business and all of this stuff. You know, the fast money can really mess your head up. So just a little video on that topic. I may make more videos about this. I sort of just don't like talking about it much. But let me know what you guys think, and if you guys want to hear more stories like this. Sometimes I do like reminiscing on those times because it shows the progress, right? And it makes me just be so appreciative of God and where He's put me at now. So, yeah, let me hear from you guys in the comments. If you can relate to this topic at all or have anything to add, let me hear from you. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Peace.